Welcome to episode number 4 of Spirits and Cricket. It's been a freaking awesome run so far, isn't it?
It's been amazing, man.
Yeah,
what an experience. What an experience. What a World Cup. What a World Cup to cover.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. You know, a lot of unexpected twists and turns. We're almost on the verge of the next phase of the tournament. We're nearly there. Pretty much every single group has got its teams lined up. We are going to be looking at all those teams, how the points table is looking, and what are we going to expect from phase 2 of the men's T20 World Cup 2024. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Vish, this is Kirti, and we are Spirits and Cricket. And my God, we made it to episode number 4, man. How awesome is that? And thank you guys, as always, for all your support. Thank you for your messages, your feedback, your comments. We've been getting a lot of good feedback from a lot of different people. A lot of people liking the videos and the teasers that we're putting out of the different, cuts from each of our episodes so far. So far, it's been very, very humbling. We're loving what we're doing, all right? In fact, just before the show, I actually asked him, you've been putting in all this work. For what?
Because I'm fucking loving it.
Yeah, because we love this.
Love doing it and we can do it.
We love doing this and because we can.
We can do it.
If you guys have been following us from episode number 1, I think you will recall that we made it very, very clear at the outset, something I just want to sort of reiterate over here, and that is, we are not cricket experts by any means, all right? We are not pundits. We just love the game. We have a tremendous amount of passion for cricket. Kind of cliched, given that we are Indians, isn't it, at the end of the day? Huh? Yeah.
I love the sport. I mean, that's the sport we grew up with, and that's the sport we love. We played it, we grew up with it, and we're going to love it.
Exactly. And that's why we are doing this Spirits and Cricket. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spirits and Cricket. Spirits and Cricket. Correction. Spirits and Cricket. We are also on Instagram at Spirits and Cricket. I'm hoping that soon we will also get on to other platforms, namely Spotify. All right, that's a work in progress at the moment, but soon you should be able to stream all of our content or listen to all of our content, watch all of our content on Spotify as well. All right, what are we looking at today in terms of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024?
I think we've already moved to the next stage of the World Cup, which is the Super 8s, and the group stages are close to completion, in fact, and we've seen most of the teams ideally qualify. We know how the Super 8s are going to shape up. In Group A, we have our favorites, India, actually topping the table.
You know what we didn't do at the start of the episode, which we should be doing? Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers to that. Cheers to India qualifying too, yeah.
Yep. Go on.
So India's at the top of the table with 7 points and with no losses and 1 draw. I mean, we just lost a point, lost 2 points basically, right?
Abandoned game.
Abandoned game.
The last one against
a point.
Canada.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that game would come through.
Yeah, me too.
Unfortunately,
me too.
washed out because of
bad weather.
Bad weather.
Ah,
well.
And then followed by the surprise package, which I called out. I'm gonna take credit for this. I called this out. I called this beast out.
You did.
And that was USA.
Yes.
And what a performance.
Amazing.
Vish. What a performance.
Absolutely. Brilliant from those
Aaron
guys.
Jones setting up the platform from the first game, and then followed by a great win with Pakistan, right? A 159 and matching the 159 and actually beating them in the super over.
Go and check out episode number 3. You know, it's titled aptly, WTF is up with Pakistan. All right. All right.
And then followed by India versus Pakistan. I mean, there's no more we can talk about the game. We have a whole episode of that.
We can talk about that game till Kingdom Come, man.
I mean, what a game. What a game.
Absolutely.
I mean, so Pakistan are out. The only team which they could beat was Canada. So the 2 teams which qualify ideally will be USA and India. USA at number 2 and India at number 1. And followed by Group B.
Yep.
So now Group B, is Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Australia have qualified as expected. I think they're playing really good cricket. I mean, as a team, they're playing really well. They're just carrying the 50-over World Cup. That kind of a form they're bringing into this T20 World Cup. In fact, they've topped the table, right? And then followed by England. England just scraped through, as England is always there. I think they played well with Namibia.
Yeah.
And it was a good performance. And against Oman, two minnows, I would say, in the international stage. But they somehow scraped through to the Super 8s.
Right.
And congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Right. And Scotland, actually, a good performance this World Cup.
They
We should
did.
never take anything away. There's only positives for Scotland. Yeah, unlucky. And today morning is when they found
I
out.
was going to
say,
the one team that they actually tested Australia in this entire tournament was probably Scotland after the game. Yeah, that already is a pretty big thumbs up to you guys. You guys have done well, the Scots.
Cheers to your whiskey and cheers to your team.
Yes, cheers to whiskey and cheers to your team. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then what do we have in Group C?
Oh, the big boys will become the young boys, will become the big guns of this World Cup, I would say. Afghanistan. Who else?
Team of the tournament for me so far.
For me too.
Team
Jonathan
of the tournament.
Trott has done a wonderful job with that team, and that team is coming together so well. They've got a formidable bowling lineup. They have got good pacers.
Yeah.
And they've got... I mean, they're always a spin-heavy team, right?
Yeah.
You got Rashid Khan, you got Nabi, and you got
Majib, Noor.
I mean, the list just goes on. I mean, they're not short of spinners at all. I mean, they've got everything together. The fielding has been very good. I mean, they pulled out an overall performance, right?
Batting has been great.
The best team, I think, in this World Cup with they played 3 games and they won all the 3 games. They're at 6 points right now with the highest run rate, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
At 4 runs in
The batting has been great as well.
Yeah, with the 4 runs.
Rahmanullah Gurbaz.
Oh, yeah. And Zadran.
And Zadran.
I mean, everyone who has ever playing this tournament for them have all come together, I feel, and they're actually pulling out a very good performance, a good tournament. That's what I think it is. Right?
Yeah, I'm suspecting that they're going to go. They're going to go.
They're going to go a long way.
Yeah. All right.
They're running on the highway, Vishwanath. They're running on the highway.
And then we finally have the very interestingly poised Group D. Right, where you have obviously South Africa definite qualifying into the Super 8s. For some reason, that number 2 position seems to be hanging in the balance between Bangladesh and Netherlands of all. So very interestingly poised. I personally think that it's just a matter of Bangladesh beating Nepal in their last game of the the group stage, and they should most likely be through. Netherlands have to do something exceptionally brilliant against Sri Lanka. They have to up their run rate quite considerably to stay in contention for the Super 8s, and they have to also hope that Bangladesh don't actually make it through with Nepal. So very interestingly poised. In all likelihood, it seems like South Africa and Bangladesh are likely to make it through. So there we go. We have our 8 teams pretty much definitive, sorted out for the Super 8 stage, which is probably going to be the most interesting, hopefully the more entertaining stage of this T20 World Cup. You have India, you have USA, you have Australia, you have England, you have Afghanistan. Look at those champions. You have West Indies, you have South Africa, we have Bangladesh. That's who we got as our potential, I would say this, barring Bangladesh, that seems to be the most definitive list when it comes to the Super 8 stage.
Yeah.
We are going to talk a little bit about how there's been some chat about the way that the matches have been aligned based on ICC's new system of seeding.
That's right.
All right. There's some confusion, is what I've understood, and believe me, even I was a bit confused. The first thing I'd like to say is that apparently this has been something that the ICC has been doing not just in this tournament, but since the 2007, the inaugural tournament of the ICC T20 World Cup. So let's try and take you through exactly what we understand of this ICC seeding, which also then will lead us into the kind of games that we're expecting. Some games are pretty much fixed. They're already decided they're going to be taking place. A few games probably still left to be finalized, to be confirmed.
Every team has been preceded, right? So now we have India as A1 and Pakistan as A2 for Group A, while Pakistan has not qualified. So hence USA being qualified from the group take the A2 spot.
Right.
So that's how it moves. So now we move to Group B, where we have Australia and England. England have got the B1 spot,
Yes.
and Australia have got the B2 over
Yes,
here.
and this is despite the fact that Australia have topped Group B, right?
Absolutely.
So what has ICC done is basically they have just retained their original seeding which they had assigned to these teams prior to the start of the tournament, and we're going to get into the reason as to why. Now let's go look at Group C and D very quickly.
Yeah. Now in Group C, we have West Indies and we have New Zealand.
Right.
West New Zealand were C2, West Indies was C1.
Right.
And now as New Zealand have lost the qualification,
Yes.
now that goes to Afghanistan,
Right.
who are in C2 right now.
Right.
And then you have Group D.
Yes.
And Group D, we have South Africa, and then we had Sri Lanka.
Yes.
And Sri Lanka's place mostly likely to go to Bangladesh.
Most likely, yes. Yeah.
And D1 is of South Africa,
Yeah.
D2 is Sri Lanka.
Yes.
So likely Bangladesh might take the D2 spot. Yeah.
So what's happening is, like he said, the top 8 teams were pre-seeded prior to the start of the tournaments. The teams that qualified will retain their originally assigned seeds. The teams that didn't qualify will be replaced by the teams that did, as we saw in Group A, where instead of Pakistan, who were pre-seeded as A2, got replaced by USA. In Group B, like he mentioned, Australia was preceded as B2 and England were preceded as B1. So there's a bit of a swap that's actually happened over there. So despite the fact that Australia topped Group B, they're still going to be going into the Super 8 stage as B2. Now, going into the reasons as to why the ICC have done this. To start with, the ICC have apparently been seeding teams for tournaments since the inaugural T20 World Cup. I think that this practice perhaps might have started at the time when T20 cricket became more and more popular and more teams started entering the sport. So the seeding system is not new. However, for this particular tournament, as per a few articles that we've read, the understanding is that the ICC intended for the seeding to continue as it was pre-assigned for 2 reasons. One was to be able to give teams a sort of a head start into knowing who their opponents are going to be, as well as what venues they're going to be playing at. All right, because the West Indies got many different islands, people have to book their tickets, people have to do all those other things. The other reason was to be able to enable audiences, fans, spectators to be able to book their flights to know which team might be playing where, and the pre-seeding is basically to help those guys make those decisions in advance of the Super 8 stage as it progresses into it. There's a lot of this explaining stuff that's happening. Not new, interesting. First time that we're sort of diving into it. There was a little confusion even for the two of us before, but now we're a little bit more clear.
Yeah, the clarity is there, but but they're saying that there's too much of manipulation which is happening because of this, because there'll be a lot of dead rubber games, right?
I also
Australia,
think
Scotland was ideally a dead rubber game.
Yeah, but also there's I just think that Jay Shah has got like a direct Bluetooth connection to most match referees and stuff. Guys, I'm telling you, just
Direct connection to the mojo.
He's got a telepathic connection to all this guys. Anyway,
Mr. Mojo rising.
look, I don't know what other people seem to feel. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
We're not going live with this. We're never going to be alive.
If we are in a position of power, we gotta use it.
Use your power.
Use your power. With great power comes
great responsibility.
That's not what's written on the front door of the BCCI, I tell you that much. All right.
We're not going to say more about this now.
All right. A sniper check? All right. No, it's all right. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, that's the roundup. We've done the tables. We've done the roundup about the confusion around the ICC seeding. For this, we also have something special for this particular episode. Given that we're at the end of the group stage, we have done our fair share of a pick of a few key performances. So the 3 things that we're going to be looking at: the best games of the group stage so far. There are just a very few ones left. We're also going to look at the top 3 batting performances, and we're going to be looking at the top 3 bowling performances. Now, obviously, the bowling performances were way, way harder to pick because there were so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
Batting performances, not so much, as we all know how this tournament has
This
progressed.
T20 has just been for the bowlers. I mean, it's just for the bowlers. Like how many, everyone we see is like
Yeah.
having a good performance. Right?
Yeah, as we speak, I can see the highlights of the India versus USA
I
game,
see it over here.
which is played on the screens
Tier
over here
10
at
for two.
Stables. So yes, let's quickly run through to start with the top 3 games, Kirti. We had some pretty interesting games throughout this tournament. Okay, so which do you think are the top 3 games that stood out, and which have we picked?
I mean, there were some wonderful games this tournament, right? There were some really close games and really high pressure games, and there were underdogs who have actually performed. So to start with, for me, my best game with the performance level from an underdog, right, to beat. It was like a David and Goliath kind of a situation,
Yeah.
right, over here.
I know where you're
And
going.
that was Afghanistan versus New Zealand.
Brilliant.
Brilliant performance.
Yes.
From the word go, from the toss.
Yes.
From the time they got into that pitch, the way Gurbaz and Zadran stitched that partnership.
Yeah.
I mean, putting up a score of 159, in fact, right? I mean, fantastic performance.
Yeah.
Where Gurbaz scored an 80 in that game.
Yeah. Brilliant 80.
Yeah, brilliant 80, in fact.
Yeah.
And Zadran also. Well, 40, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
It was a very good tight performance. And bundling out the New Zealanders with Fazal Haq Farooqi.
Basil Hack, man.
And Rashid Khan. I mean, dominating performance, I thought.
Yeah.
And these kind of performance ideally come from a well-seasoned international team.
Yes.
But I think this group is really good
Yeah.
together. The way they play their sport, the attitude they have, fantastic.
Yes.
So that will be my first top match
Of the tournament.
of the tournament.
Yes.
And then followed by, what can I say?
We have to make a mention of it.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
It couldn't get bigger.
Yeah.
It was a blockbuster event. Like our Ravi Shastri always keeps claiming it.
The Big Apple.
At the big.
At the Big Apple.
I think
In the blue corner.
I think he had a hangover of Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
He must be hungover. He must have traveled. He must be
yeah.
hungover.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
that was a crazy introduction to that match. But
Yeah.
India versus Pakistan.
Always,
Can't take
always.
anything from that game. A low scoring game with 119. India
Yeah.
getting bundled out. Good performance by Pakistan, I must say.
Yeah.
Fighting performance by Rishabh Pant. And,
Yeah.
But Indian bowling. Defending 119 against a formidable batting lineup of Pakistan. Even both their openers can score 119 on a good day. But we've already said enough and more. I'm not going to say more to this. I'm not going to
Yeah.
add more. But
Great game.
A great game. Great game. Me as an Indian, I loved it.
Yeah.
Right? So-
I also love the next game as an Indian.
You mean the India H1B1 team? So Pakistan,
Technically, lost twice to India in this game.
I mean, Jay Shah must be really brutal with this, huh?
He's
He
got
said,
a
you can't
earpiece,
beat
man."
one, we get you another one.
Earpiece. We beat them twice, Kirti. We beat them twice.
Twice.
Anyway.
So USA, USA, United States of America,
Yeah. USA
becomes
Pakistan.
great again
Yes.
in another sport, I would feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, they beat Pakistan. That was actually one of the best games I've seen from any team which was played. Taking that 159 ideally and
Yeah.
matching the 159.
Yeah.
And then taking the team to the super over, seasoned international cricket
Yeah.
team. We were shocked. We were actually watching the game together.
Yeah.
We were shocked. And a dismal over by Mohammad Amir and smart cricket by USA.
Yep.
And then the hero, the
Sohrab.
H1B1 hero from Oracle,
Oracle.
who's actually on leave to play this tournament.
If he's an H1B1, he's technically still an Indian citizen, guys. Just so you know. Just so you know.
He played under 19 for India. But yeah, we'll go into it a little later, I think. Netralkar.
Yeah. Sohrab.
From Mumbai.
Yeah.
who played under 19 for India.
Yeah.
If he would have been older enough, we could have played some cricket with him.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
a great game, great performance, great last over. A dismal performance by Pakistan again. That's why they're not there in the World Cup. So they lost their A2 spot.
Yeah. Let's talk about the batting before we talk about the best bowling performances, because there weren't too many in terms of batting performances. I think my top 3 batting performance would be, as in not mine. I think we picked this list together. In the third spot, we had some pretty damn good choices that we wanted to pick, primarily from opening batsmen. There was Warner's awesome 39 against England. All right, really took the game away from them in that power play. There was also, in a chase, Rohit Sharma doing pretty well against Ireland. Made a 52 before he chose to get retired out himself. But I think the best opening batting performance of all, hands down, which got this number 3 spot for us, was Ramanullah Gurbaz with that 80 against New Zealand. What a awesome batting performance against that bowling attack. You have Trent Bolt, Matt Henry, Lockie Ferguson, and he took them all apart piece by piece. Absolutely. Right, brilliant brilliant batting performance by Ramanullah Gurbaz. So he's our number 3 pick. For number 2, we try to pick some of these guys that pulled off a blinder of a performance from a rather tricky situation. All right, we have to obviously make a mention here of what Rishabh Pant did after Kohli and Sharma got out fairly quickly in the India versus Pakistan game. Difficult wicket to get to 42, but still a lot of intent, great batting performance. There was also Henry Klaasen's innings against Bangladesh, because Bangladesh had got South Africa down to 23 for 4 at one point in time, but Klaasen stitched a decent partnership. He sort of hung in there to make a very good 46. But the best one of the lot,
the lone warrior.
What a unbelievable batting by Sherfane Rutherford against New Zealand again. I don't know what's up with New Zealand, guys, but 68 of 39. What a brilliant batting performance to take the West Indies. I think they were around 23, 22 for 4 when he came in, 22 for 3 or 22 for 4 when he came in. Tough situation to be in, but stitches an awesome innings, builds out an awesome innings to really take the Kiwi bowlers apart to reach 68 of 39. Brilliant, knock there by Sherfane Rutherford. So he's our number 2 in terms of, crunch batting performances. All right. But now we come to the number 1 slot. All right. We wanted to pick the best batting performances in a chase. All right. And we know which ones we're going for over here. To be very, very honest with you, there were only 2 that we could pick because there were so few far in between. Mention to Surya over here. Pretty good 50 against the USA. Came in a chase. Yep. Again, Kohli, Sharma, and Pant also fairly early. Get out. Kohli out for a duck. So he's got scores of 1, 4, and 0.
Again, caught by H1B1.
1, 4, and 0. Those are Virat Kohli's scores in this tournament so far. But well done to Surya for making that 50. But hands down, we made a mention of it in our first episode. The batting performance, number 1, Aaron Jones, USA versus Canada in a chase of 194. 94 of 40 balls, 10 sixes. Brilliant batting. Hands down the best batting performance of the tournament so far.
We need to give a mention to Stoinis also today for finishing the game.
A little early.
Yeah, a little early.
He did a good job today.
Yeah, he did a good job today, I think, right? And even Travis Head for that 68. Yeah, brilliant from Stoinis as well today, no doubt. But yes, those are our top 3 batting performances. Now for the bowling performances, Kirti, you had quite a lot that you wanted to talk about as far as the bowling was concerned, because there were so many and we actually struggled, right? We actually struggled when we were discussing this over the phone. Let's go through the number 3 pick. We said we'll try with an opening seamer. Who was a good opening seamer? Yeah. So for our number 3, we want to go with the top opening seamers. We had some honorable mentions as well as our pick for the number 3. Absolutely. I mean, there were so many of them. For the opening seamers, you had Arshdeep, who had a brilliant performance for the opening with the ball against
USA.
USA. In fact, he took about 4 wickets. I mean,
Yeah, brilliant.
4
Really
wickets for
good.
9 runs, was it? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, for
yeah.
9 runs. I mean, that was a fantastic bowling performance,
Yeah.
I must say.
I think you know what Arshdeep would have done is like after he saw Bumrah bowl in that Pakistan game, he would have been like, "Hey, hold my beer." Hold my beer, Bumrah.
What a performance.
Yeah,
what a
brilliant. Well done, Arshdeep. Well
Yeah,
done.
well done, well done. I mean, and then we have Tanzim against South Africa.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I mean, it was a brilliant ball.
Great
I mean,
ball
it was a good
opening.
wicket. He made the best out of the wicket.
Yeah.
Good line and length.
Amazing.
It was a treat to watch a bowler actually hit the right line and length and
Yeah.
get the ball moving.
Always.
It was fantastic bowling performance. I would give it to him.
Yeah.
But number 3 has to be Fazal Haq Farooqi.
Yeah, brilliant.
I mean,
New Zealand.
Yeah. What a game against New Zealand, right?
4 for
With
19.
4 for 19. What a performance! He dismantled the New Zealand top order, right?
Man.
He knocked them out in 4 rounds.
Finn Allen.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. The power play. They were done with the
Yeah.
power play, right?
Yeah,
I mean, by
brilliant.
the power play ended, ideally New Zealand were done.
Yeah,
And
brilliant.
I mean, that was a game-changing performance, game-defining performance, I would say.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Tournament defining in a lot of ways as well, if you think about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
With this
great.
kind of a bowling lineup, I would be scared to meet them. Right? I
We
wouldn't
have a
want to
game
face.
against them.
We have one. And the number 2, I'll leave it to you, I think you would love to call this person out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
this is
So-
up your sleeve.
So for the number 2, we actually wanted to go with spinners. Obviously, seamers have had a field day during this World Cup. They've obviously outperformed in so many different departments, given the assistance from the pitches and the conditions. So we were looking at some awesome spin bowling performances. We had Zampa against England, who did really, really well. He got the key wickets of Phil Salt and Joss Butler for a player of the match winning 2 for 28. Then we had Rashid Khan as well against New Zealand. Again, a 4 for.
Yeah,
Again,
4 for.
I think he took 4 for 19. Similar figures as to Fazal Haq Farooqi, like a 4 for against New Zealand. So between the two of them, they really just took the New Zealand batting apart.
Yeah.
But for our number 1 pick, we have to go with a slightly lesser known bowler called Gudakesh Moti from West Indies. All right, for his awesome 3 for 25 against New Zealand, picking the wickets of Rachin Ravindra, Kane Williamson, and Daryl Mitchell. Pretty much the backbone of the Kiwi batting attack. Man, the Kiwis have been really slam dunked in this tournament. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
We love the Kiwis. I mean, I got to tell you, but really awesome bowling performance in that situation. Kiwis really needed to win against the Windies to stand any sort of a chance, but West Indies
Blew them
really
away.
doing some damage there. Great performance by Moti.
Sailed them out.
Yes. And for our number 1 pick,
Number 1.
I think we all know it, so let's just say it and be done with it.
Yeah.
Should
Actually,
we?
yeah.
No.
Come
We
on.
gotta
You
build it up.
can't let. I mean, we can't let good performances
gotta
go
build-
by.
we
I
gotta
mean,
build it
we're
up.
fair people. You know what I mean? We're neutral.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You can't be always inclined to your country, right? Did I let it out? It could be the H1B1 also.
Defensive bowling, defending. I think that's what it was, right? We wanted to go with somebody that did the job while defending.
Absolutely.
And we all know who did the job, but make the mention.
Yeah, Alzari Joseph.
Brilliant,
Key
yes.
mention. I mean, against New Zealand also. I think everyone pulled their records in New Zealand, right? Against them. Whoever wants to get the best record in T20.
I don't know if I can say this, but it seems like New Zealand just witnessed a gangbang.
The Iceman's not gonna like it.
New Zealand have experienced a gangbang. All right. Anyway.
Oh shit!
Yeah. so sad.
Wham,
Such a good team. One of the preceded teams of the tournament, and anyway.
Us-
Alzari Joseph.
Usually it's England.
Oh, I'm arriving. This is why we do this.
And
Because
they
we have-
always run out of every tournament screaming, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
this is why we do. We have so much of fun. But England are defending champions, guys. Anyway, but yeah, Alzari Joseph, can we catch our breath and get back to it, sir?
Yeah, Alzari
Joseph.
Joseph against New Zealand. Good performance.
Yeah,
Took the top order.
yeah,
I set it up for New Zealand, in fact.
Amazing.
Set it up for Windies, in fact.
yeah.
And of course, Saurabh Netravalkar.
Oh yes,
What a performance against Pakistan.
that is a defensive bowling
that's
performance.
defensive.
Amazing.
And crucial overs.
Yeah,
Right?
critical.
And critical overs. The super over, the way he bowled the super over, didn't
Yeah.
give an inch away to Pakistan.
Yeah.
I mean, good batting lineup,
Yeah.
good batsman against
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
But yeah.
If he was to face New Zealand, he'd be giving them a lot of inches.
Yeah, New Zealand are not going to like it though.
Well, seems like they've been enjoying it so far.
That's too
Anyway.
much. Too much to take. Too much. How much can I take?
All right.
They've been walloped this tournament.
Imagine if they face the next guy.
The Kiwis
Right.
are out.
Yeah.
And
But
the
our
champions of the champions.
there's only one.
Jasprit Bumrah.
Jasprit effing
Bumrah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a performance by Bumrah. 3 for 14
Against
Pakistan.
Yeah,
What a performance.
brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant. Comes, takes
I
all
don't
the key
think
wickets.
enough can be said about him.
That was what I felt about when Bumrah bowled at Pakistan. He got the only 3 batsmen could idly play in that team. They were the only 3 hopes for Pakistan, and there he goes, takes all their wickets,
Yeah.
comes 3 for 14,
Yeah.
and Pakistan is done.
Yeah.
Then they're only scraping the grounds
Yeah.
in the end of the day,
Yeah.
and they never reached a target of 119.
Exactly.
I mean, if they didn't just taken one run a ball,
Yeah.
they would have reached 119. They could have gone for another super over.
Pakistan, have you met New Zealand? But
Are you guys sailing the same boat?
yeah, what's going on? Oh, anyway. Brilliant. So that's our top 3
Just
bowling
beat
performances. Fazal Haq Farooqi at number 3, Gudakesh Moti at number 2, and the legend, the GOAT, the Grandmaster, the Viking, the Boom Master, Jasprit Bumrah at number 1. Right, that's a wrap then.
Yeah.
Well, we had one hell of an episode so
I
far.
want another Guinness.
I don't know how much of this I can actually leave in. The kind of shit that we have said.
Can we just keep talking?
We could just keep going all day. But man, what a World Cup this is turning out to be. The next phase is going to be very, very interesting. I think most teams are going to be tested. I don't see a clear winner for this T20 World Cup yet. I really don't. Hands down, Afghanistan have been the most dominating team, without a doubt. West Indies have showed shades of brilliance. India have been mixed, in my opinion. They haven't had their top guys really fire yet, except for Jasprit Bumrah. But we're talking about batting. Surya, thankfully, comes into form, which is good. But the rest of the teams, I think Australia clearly looking like front runners here. But I wouldn't say that there is some clear prediction that we can make at this stage. We are having a little bit of a bet going on about our top 4 semi-finalists. According to Kirti, it's India, England, Australia, and West Indies. According to me, it's India, England, Australia, and South Africa. Thankfully, all teams have qualified for the Super 8s. Not one of them has been knocked out. I am having some second thoughts on whether I should include Afghanistan in my potential semi-finalists over here. We'll wait and see. Hopefully, we will get a chance to record another episode between now and the commencement of the semi-final stage of the game. So, That's been us from Spirits and Cricket. Today we've recorded at the amazing Stables. Thank you to these guys for letting us record over here. Their venue in Sheikh Zayed Road in Dubai. Come down here. They're also showing the games on screens. You know, they got multiple screens over here. I think you can see a few behind me and one behind Kirti as well. So great venue, great food, and above 21 only. All right. So thank you to Stables, and thank you guys so much for following us, for liking us, for sharing us, for sending us your feedback, for sending us your messages. We are hoping to get some experts on. We are working hard on this as we speak. We just don't know when, but soon. Look out for those episodes as well. Make sure you're following at Spirits and Cricket on Instagram, as well as check us out on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of new videos. We are posting as frequently as we can. And we will now see you during the Super 8 stage of the game. My name is Vish. This is Kirti. We are Spirits and Cricket. Go and do what you love doing. All right.
I'm gonna get some more Guinness.
Aha, and I'm gonna get some more. I don't know what this is. Peroni.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. Salud. Have a good evening.
Cheers.